Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon. Jesse here. I'm here today with my friend Julius. He joined me for the conversation. Thanks for joining, man. How are you doing?
Hey Jesse, very good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Nice, nice. For every one of you listening, today we're just going to talk about LinkedIn, marketing, content, business, obviously. So, for the people watching, Julius, like quick intro, what's your business? Who do you help? And what problem do you solve?
Sure. So my name is Julius. I'm from Berlin, Germany originally, but I live all around the world since about 15 years. Been fully digital entrepreneur. Had a couple of businesses in the past, and for quite a while now, I'm fully focusing on helping people in career transitions and finding their purpose and creating their dream life that's a perfect match or perfectly matched with a career that's actually fulfilling and that is in line with the change and the impact that these people want to see in the world. So I've created a coaching program that initially I built for myself, then started helping friends with it, and then eventually started actually helping a bunch of clients with because I've just seen the potential, I've seen the change, I've seen the impact that it was making, and decided to go full on in it, and been doing that for about a full time for a year. I've been doing it in total for around 3 years, and now also super excited to work with you, Jesse, and help making it bigger so that I can reach more people, create a bigger impact, and help more people getting out of the rat race into living lives that are actually true to their authentic selves and happier at the end of the day as well.
That's amazing, man. And I can fully resonate with that. Like I think you and I are very much on like, the same page. Like of course both like being nomadic, but also like pursuing something that doesn't feel like work, right? It's like the Naval Ravikant quote: "Find work that feels like play," because then
Exactly.
you never stop. It's very hard to lose from people that just having fun and in the process they work. I love hearing that, man. In terms of like helping people find their passion, their purpose, is there like one short like case study or like result from like a client that you work with that comes top of mind that you're like, oh, this person went from X to Y?
Yes, I mean, absolutely there is, but what I have to say, obviously, is that the change that I'm trying to create is a change that goes gradually, right? This is
Yeah,
nothing. I'm there for the big decisions. I'm there for the big changes in life, and those changes are processes that take quite a while, obviously, because yes, there is people also that have been working with me that were able to change their lives around literally like in a few days. But most people, obviously, especially the older we get, the more responsibilities we have, the more locked in also we are in certain lives, the harder it is to get out of it, right? And so there has been people who, yes, after my program, literally quit their job and started their own business, for example. And this is also the kind of transitions that make me the proudest because I can really see how they're changing their life around and how they can use a framework like this as an actual reset of their life and really change things around. And then there's other people also who, for example, the outcome is very scary, right? Because the outcome means that they have to tackle a huge project that they have been putting off for years and years and years. And all of a sudden, I help them put it black on white in front of them that this is what they have to do in order to get to the life that they want to live or the impact that they want to have in the world. And that can be extremely scary, obviously, because these kind of projects are sometimes big scales means they have to give up a lot of their current lives. Maybe means they have to give up certain relationships with certain people that aren't good for them. They maybe have to quit jobs that they've been very comfortable in. And yes, these processes take, it's highly individual. This is basically what I'm saying. It really depends on your current situation. But what's special with my program is that I pick up people on where they are in life right now and then I help them take it to the next level. And that can literally be here or here. It doesn't matter. They are going to be able to basically take the next steps in their life and get much closer to what's their true potential.
I love that, man. I love that. And I would love to hear a bit more on your framework at a later point in this conversation. But let's go back a bit for now. In terms of like LinkedIn and client acquisition, like what were you trying to do before you and I got together? Like, what were some of the things that you perhaps were working on, or something that wasn't working for you?
Yeah. So before I started working with you, most of my clients came through my network, friends of friends. Literally, I would close clients on like random dinner conversations that I had in groups or whatever, right?
Okay.
And that's nice because you then end up working with people that are like you, right? So most of the clients that I had initially were friends or friends of friends of friends, and that was super fun because I got to know these people super well in the process, obviously, because I spend a lot of time one on one with the people in my program. It's very boutique. But of course, this is nothing plannable. This is nothing systematic, right? So my leads would come randomly, essentially, and I couldn't plan them. And that can work a certain while, basically until you use up your network, right? And then my next step would have been, oh, now I have to start like posting on Instagram, and I hate Instagram. Like I have a big resistance against using Instagram because
Yeah,
from like I waste so much time on it. There's so much
so much noise.
toxicity on Instagram, so much noise, and so I was so afraid of of doing that. And then eventually, I also realized that makes no sense. I have a huge professional network on LinkedIn, and I see a lot of people making or creating leads through LinkedIn. Um, but I had this limiting belief that basically only people who help other people sell through LinkedIn are making money. And I
Yeah,
was like, why are only coaches that are training coaches making money on LinkedIn? And yes, you proved me wrong in a very, very short time.
love
So
it.
that's amazing. Yeah, this is basically where I came from. And now the main reason was that I wasn't making leads consistently and only through my network. And now since I've been only with you for 2 weeks, that changed very, very quickly already.
Nice. Yeah, like word of mouth, I love it. It's great, but it's just so unpredictable. It's like you can't really build a business on that. And I think it keeps you like this, let's say, broke freelancer, just like hopping from project to project that you're like, aha, when is the next lead coming in? But if you want to grow, you need consistency and you need a system, right? So I'm very happy to hear that you got rid of the idea of Instagram and have to fight for attention on a very, very diluted platform, and that you saw like the blue ocean that LinkedIn still is.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that things start to click for you pretty fast. Like, could you expand a little bit on that? Like, well, what helped things click for you? Was it a certain system? Was it an idea or a certain way of showing up? Certain information?
Yes. So for me, I was struggling for many, many months with my positioning, basically, and also with a specific target group that I wanted to cater with. I wanted it, or I had the idea. I'm going to take it back. My program works for a lot of people in
Okay.
many different situations, right? It works for people that are lost, that are stuck in life, that want to change their job, that are unhappy with their lifestyles, unhappy in general, can't make it themselves, want to start a business but don't know what idea. Like it really works for a wide array of people. But this was also my issue because I was too vague, I was too general, and this is also how I was positioned because I was thinking, well, I want to help all of these people, and I can help all of these people, and I know my program works. But this was also kind of the positioning that I was putting out there on LinkedIn, and also when I was talking to people or just pitching the project or whatever. And this is basically the biggest issue because then you get overlooked because you are a generalist essentially helping everyone, but nobody feels approached by you if they come up on your profile or
Yeah.
whatever, right? And this is what you helped me do. You basically forced me to go to niche down and to go full on into one specific target group. And this target group was already part of my target group before. So for me, it was kind of easy to just say, okay, what is
Mm,
the target group that needs me the most, has the biggest pain, and also has the most potential in terms of there's the most people that I can actually help. And this is what I did. So I had to choose one of the five that I was catering on before, just chose that one, changed my approach, changed my content, changed my communication and my positioning towards this target group, and changed adding these kind of people specifically to my network.
yeah.
And it took me a week of doing that, and the first leads started to roll in, and I
Nice.
couldn't believe my eyes.
That's amazing, man. So what happened then?
What happened then? I mean, I had a funnel. I had a landing page before. I had a booking funnel, a sales funnel already. So I'm just using what I had before, but I kind of was able to plug in that missing puzzle piece that I had beforehand, and now it's working. So yeah.
Man, that's amazing. I love that, man. And not just the result, it's more that I think you mentioned this before in like the group, right? Like you were happy about the calls you booked because of course we need leads, we need calls to grow our business, but more of like the clarity part, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
brain fog goes away and you're like, okay, forget about all the noise. This is the
Hmm.
one thing I'm going to do. And then content becomes easier, your messaging becomes sharper, your offer even gets better because you start to work with a specific subset of people and you can kind of forget about the rest. And sure, I don't doubt the fact that you can help everyone, but do you want to help everyone right now? Perhaps at the scaling phase, but currently, like if you can find this subset of people, give them amazing life-changing
Yeah.
results, and then find more people like that, right?
Exactly, exactly. And I mean, the funny thing is, I'm a coach myself, right? And this is what I
Yeah,
do. Like, I help, I give people a short. They can may potentially do it themselves if they are, if they dig long enough and they
yeah,
iterate and experiment long enough. But I offer them a shortcut because I've been through that same process, so I know how to get there faster. Exactly the same with you. And my problem before was that because before doing this, I was for 12 years in marketing. I started
yeah.
a couple of businesses, had a bunch of CMO roles, a lot of head of marketing roles in different kind of businesses, from corporates to startups, scale ups, my own businesses. So my ego was in my way because
Mm,
I thought I know what I got to do. I don't need a coach. I don't need help. I've been doing this for all my career. Why would I need someone else to tell me how to do positioning, right? And then especially because I've been doing it so much for other of my clients before that, and companies and whatever, but then doing it for myself, for a business that is so close to my heart, for a business that is so tight with my own identity,
yeah.
it was all of a sudden completely different. I was struggling so much of nailing it down, and this is basically what you helped me do it. And that clarity was so valuable, because then, like you say, all of a sudden everything becomes focused and pinpointed down, and there's no more looking left and right and trying to take care of everything at the same time. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. So, in terms of like your day to day, in terms of like LinkedIn and client acquisition, like can you talk me a little bit through about how you're currently showing up? Like, what does your like routine look like these days?
Yeah, so I'm still in the process of finding that, because I'm still obviously also within your program and all the information that's out there. Only just scraping the tip of the iceberg, I think.
Hmm.
Um, but that's great also because I see I'm only at the top, I'm only at the beginning, but it's already working, right? So I can just build upon that and make it better and better and better. So I still have a long way to go through your program. But right now, basically, what I'm doing is, I'm adding the maximum amount of people that I can per week. That is like super targeted within my target group. I have a DM flow. I'm sending these people connection requests. From those connection requests, a certain amount of people accept me, and then a certain amount of people answer my first message, and
Yeah,
then basically I get into a conversation and just see whether these people are interested, whether they have a problem that I can solve or not, and if there is some interest, I book a call with them, or they book a call with me, better said, and then I explain them what I actually do, and I figure out if I actually can help them with the issue or the challenge that they have. Yeah.
yeah. Sounds pretty straightforward, man. That's how we do it, right? Just starting the conversation and just figure out if you can help that. Like you're a service provider, and that's I think something people often overlook, right? They're like, oh, this person has to want to work with me. No, let's switch it. Let's flip the tables, right? Like figure out if you can actually help the person and want to work with them.
Absolutely. I think with people like us and what we do, I'm always telling, when prospects or clients ask me like, "Oh yeah, why should I choose you over another coach?" I always say, like, choosing a coach or a service provider is like choosing a running shoe. There's 300 brands out there
Yeah,
in 5 million colorways. And which one are you going to choose? All of these shoes are going to get you from A to B and going to make you run a marathon. But you choose the one that fit you the best, that look the nicest for your style,
yeah,
and the ones that you feel like that you, whether you like the brand or you trust that they're going to actually like be the best shoe for you, right? So at the end of the day, and this is the same for you, like my process, I was looking for help for LinkedIn for months,
yeah,
and there were so many scammers, first of all, out there, so many people I wasn't trusting, and plus then a lot of people that, if I'm paying for a video course, I'm going to watch hours and hours of content of that person. That person can't be annoying. That person can't have an annoying voice for me. That person can't be like, be not sympathetic or whatever. So I'm going to choose the person who I'm happy to listen to for hours and hours and hours. I
yeah,
trust that person. That person is knowledgeable about what he's doing, and he can prove that what he's claiming is actually working. And
yeah.
you were doing that. Like, I think I came across your profile, and this was a matter of minutes of me deciding to go for it.
Amazing. I love that.
And this speaks for you, because this is what I want too. I want people to come onto my profile, go through, maybe check my landing page and be like, yes, let's go.
Exactly. This is the person I need right now. That's amazing, man. And lovely to hear that. So, first of all, thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Secondly, I would love to hear this. Like, what is something that you, let's say, like a mindset or like an opinion or let's say a paradigm shift that you had previously and that you're now changing your mind on in terms of LinkedIn or client acquisition?
Yeah, I think one of the mindsets that a lot of people have that are just getting started with this is that selling is filthy, selling
Mm,
is dirty. And this is something that you just have to get out of your mindset completely. Same as with like following up, for example, right? Something that you teach in your course, which is so true, and which was really like a big paradigm shift for me, is like people don't ghost you because they're not interested or they don't like you or whatever. People ghost you because they're busy. I ghost people all the time that send me random messages and I forget
yeah,
to answer or whatever. Sure, like life happens, you know. We're all busy. We all have like busy schedules and so on and so forth. We all want to live our lives. So like not answering a message is the most normal thing ever. So
yeah,
if I know I can help a person, or a person is within my ICP and that person has shown interest, I'm just going to follow up if they don't answer. And
yeah,
I've already booked a call just through a follow up, right? So it's
exactly.
it's it's this is something that is very important, I think, first of all. And second of all, a lot of people don't know that they need you in the first place, right? So people who are aware of the problem, like like in marketing, you have all these different like categories of people who are ready to buy and not ready to buy and so on and so forth. But a lot of people don't come onto your profile and being like, oh, I need a coach.
Yeah,
I'm ready to buy. I have the money laying here. I've decided I'm going to spend it no matter what. I'm just looking for the right person. Like I was.
yeah,
I was with the right. I bought with you. I had the money aside. I knew I needed it. I was ready to buy. I was just selecting. So I was just in
sure.
the final phase, right? But most people aren't. Most people are not even really aware that I can help them with this specific problem, or that there is in general a system or a method to help them with a specific problem.
Hmm.
So you got to educate them, and you got to find them, and you got to make sure that they understand what you're offering.
Yeah, and that's built by repetition, right? It's often what I say is like there is this beautiful quote, like you don't attract butterflies by chasing them, but you attract them by building a garden. And then the
So
garden
true.
attracts the butterflies, right? So, and in terms of to stretch this metaphor to LinkedIn, is like your profile needs to be optimized, right? Like you got on my profile, and you're like, okay, check, check, check. The content needs to go out daily. The messaging, the follow ups, all kind of like the inputs that need to be done in the system, because you can't really control how many calls you book per week. But you can, of course, control how many posts you publish, how many comments, oh sorry, how many new connections you do, how many follow-ups you send, and just doing those inputs, like you said, over time will get you more people that are potentially interested in solving the problem they have and trusting you in that process.
100%. And again, like sales always has been, and I guess always will be, a numbers game. So you just have to make sure that you get to your numbers. And yet, and the more people that you can reach, the more people are likely to respond to whatever you have on offer or show interest, and then potentially also close the deal.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's quantity leads to quality, and then once you have quality, you can kind of like increase the throughput, right? Like
Like
you.
Leonardo DiCaprio said, pick up the phone and dial.
That's a beautiful movie, man. I love that movie. Like
Yes,
rewatch it like every quarter. I think is it's like I think for guys it's just mental therapy.
100%.
I think girls don't like it. They're like, nah, it's
Yeah, it's a bit too
too
stark, maybe.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great movie, man.
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So in the beginning, you spoke a little bit. I would love to hear a little bit more about your framework, your process, because like you said, you have a specific way of getting people from A to B. And to me, it's very fascinating that A can be different per client. So talk me a little bit through about like the process that you've developed over the last few years.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm going to take it a quick step back to give you some context. So I was running, or I built a startup in Berlin. We actually built a wave pool, an indoor surf wave in Berlin.
Nice.
And we opened 3 months before COVID. and we got screwed over by COVID very, very, very hard. We had a very difficult time. It was a crazy roller coaster. Um, and big ups and downs emotionally, business wise, and also within the co-founder group, because I started with a couple of my closest friends, and eventually I decided to get out of the operative side of the business, because of a number of reasons, but also a lot of tensions in between the co-founders, and strategic differences that we had. So basically, from one day to the other, after working my ass off for 5 years, day in, day out, I had nothing to do. And I
Mm.
was like, okay, what am I going to do next with my time, with my energy? And I basically built a framework for myself to figure out what my next business idea was. And I did that. I followed through. I started that business and I worked in that business for 2 years, and it was great. But since I've been doing that, I was just basically helping my friends in similar situations, people who were sick of their job or had a big shift going on in their lives, and they just want guidance from me. So I basically just showed my friends like the same framework that I use for myself. And at the beginning, it was just like a 3 hour workshop, sitting together on the terrace and
Yeah.
going through the same steps. And more friends came to me, hearing about it, seeing the shift that happened in my life. So I just taught more and more friends about it until I had like around 20, 25 people that I actually coached through this method. And with every person giving me feedback, me going sharper into it, the system grew and got back bigger and bigger and more precise and better. And then when I decided to get out of my last head of marketing position, that's about a good year ago, I decided to go full into this coaching because I loved it so much. I had a great time, and I really saw the impact that it had to people. Right, like people literally like quitting their jobs on the same day, like calling their boss in front of me. He's like, similar to like in Wolf of Wall Street, where he's like, I'm quitting my job, like I'm going to work for you. So
Exactly.
I
Hire
saw
me now.
Yes, exactly. So I had those moments where I was like, wow, this is so impactful and amazing. And I see these people like actually finally following their passions or going for something that they were afraid of because now they had the information, the drive, the motivation, and the realization that what they wanted to do was the right thing for them, right? And so I did, yeah, basically just started doing that, and then started, yeah, in the last year I had a couple of amazing clients of like people who like C-level positions from corporates who had burned out because of many different reasons. But this is something that I've realized, that most people, they don't burn out because the work is stressful or because they have too much on their plates or the early morning meetings. It's not about that. People burn out because their job is misaligned with their identity and their authentic selves.
Yeah.
And then I realized that so many people in our society actually are miserable because they work on something that is externally motivated, right? That is actually their parents told them to do that. Their friends are doing it too. All of my friends studied whatever law, so I'm going to become a lawyer too. These kind of belief systems that we build in our society that are externally motivated, those are the ones that screw us over in the long run, always. And that's no matter if you're in a relationship that you're not supposed to be in with a partner, or in a business relationship, or working for a company whose morals you don't support, or where you understand that the impact that you're making is actually bad for the world that you live in and you're not in line with that anymore. Those are the things that make you burn out. And I've kind of just me luck. I had the big luck in my life that I was raised by parents who always let me do whatever I wanted,
Hmm.
and who just supported me. As long as I was doing something that I was excited about, they supported me.
Nice.
And this is, I'm very, very privileged. But because of that, I never had this limiting belief, and I can help people lose this limiting belief, is that they have to do something that they're not aligned with or not passionate about, right? So I love your butterfly garden metaphor, and what I always tell people is like, follow the fireflies, right? Follow the blinking lights, follow whatever excites you. But
Yeah.
you're totally right. In the best case, don't just follow it, but build a garden so they come to you, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly the same principle. So essentially the process that I developed, or the method that I developed, to come back to your question, is I ask the people the right amount of questions to gather a certain base load of information that I then can work with. Okay, so people essentially answer exercises, and after every exercises, I go in a 2 to 3 hour one-on-one coaching call with them, and I find patterns, I find limiting beliefs, I find areas in their lives where they're bullshitting themselves, where they're sabotaging themselves, where they're standing in their own way. And basically, like a funnel, we put in more and more and more and more information into this funnel. And by the very, very end of this process, we come up with basically the Japanese concept of ikigai. I'm sure if you heard of it, the reason for being, the purpose, where we connect the entire way on how they want to live and the goals that they have for their lives with a career that enables that and that is in line with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So people first, they find out where they are, where they want to go, and then how they can create a lifestyle and a career that supports reaching those goals. So essentially, it's a mix out of a career lifestyle coaching, but also a goal achievement framework that I give these people afterwards, so that they can kind of combine it all together. Because I truly believe that you cannot have a career coaching without looking at the lifestyle first. And I truly also believe that our lifestyles should always come first. And then we got to build businesses or careers or jobs that support those lifestyles.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. And I love how your personal like story led into this, figuring things out. And it's like what they say, right? Within like the coaching slash info industry, it's like scratch your own itch first. Like how can you sell something to someone, presenting that as a solution to their problem if you haven't done it and lived it yourself, right?
100%.
And
100%. And yeah, like to add to that, like something that I was like, they also, this is marketing theory, right? But for every business, you have to have a vision and an anti-vision. And the anti-vision of my business is also my personal anti-vision. I don't want to be working 9 to 5 in a job that I don't care about, with people I don't care about, in a culture I don't like. I don't want to have like this lack of purpose. I don't want to be an autopilot. I want to be consciously designing and curating my life, right? And I want to be driven by internal motivators. So my anti-vision basically is how a lot of people in big cities in the Western world are living, right? Wake up after a shitty night of sleep, chugging coffee, commuting to work, working for 8 hours in a job they hate, then going home and numbing themselves with alcohol, Netflix, and living towards the weekend, basically, and then having 2 weeks of holiday a year. You know, this is my anti-vision. This is what I don't want, and this is what I'm trying with my process, and also achieving with my process, to have people avoid, and actually, like, let people understand that even though this has become normal in our society, it's
yeah,
absolutely crazy that we're wasting our lives with such lives. It's unbelievable to me.
yeah, I know, man. I fully agree with you on that one. And Hormozy talks about this as well in terms of if you want to live an exceptional life, you have to accept the fact that you will be the exception,
Yes,
which means, aka, most of the path or a part of the path you will walk alone or with a minority of people. Because just by the literal definition, right, to be exceptional, you have to do something that only the
that's exceptional.
exception does. And for
100%.
me, that just helped a lot with in terms of early years of entrepreneurship, kind of like this feeling of like misunderstood. And then I'm like trying to make others understand me. And now I see like, okay, I now see it as like as a sign of being on the right path, because
Yeah,
I know I have extraordinary goals in life, in business, in my relationships, in the people close to me. So in order to do that, I need to be misunderstood by most people, because if they would understand my goals, it means that I'm most likely aiming too low. And it's not to
yes,
talk shit on them. It's more like, yeah, it's like they're different, like different goals there. Like, and to quote Hormozy again, is like, don't listen to people that have goals smaller than you.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, of course. And that helped me just with this acceptance, like, okay, usually family, I'm like, hey, I still love you. I'm just not gonna listen to you in the concept or in the context of this specific thing, whether it's career, finances, travels, lifestyle, relationships, all these things,
yeah.
because I'm like, hey, our goals are just not aligned.
They don't fight in the same arena as you. So why would you ask them for fighting tips?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, like they don't get financial advice from someone that's broke. It sounds so stupid, but that's, I think, how most
Yes.
people still live their lives, right? Like being confined by the imaginary opinion of others. And I'm not
Absolutely.
saying that I've never had that, but because there were parts in my life that I also had this phase of like,
For sure.
oh, what would X, Y, and Z think of X, Y, and Z? But they're not even thinking about it. It's all in here. And
Exactly.
once I
Exactly.
broke loose from that, I'm like, I'm free. I can do whatever I
Exactly.
want to do.
Yes. Yes. And I think that's a super important part that touches upon your business and my business, is that essentially people have to realize that yes, they're 100% free. They can do whatever the hell they want. They can change their lives from one day to the other, and that they can curate, consciously curate and design their lives and get there. And this is what I teach people to do, and essentially that's what you're teaching people to do as well, because
Yeah.
you enable them then to create the businesses that make them free and living the lives that they want. But also for that, like, it takes quite a lot of, let's say, base work. So I'm almost like I'm extracting them from the matrix, and then you shoot them to space.
Yeah, exactly right. And like in terms of like what we are doing, like with the Authority Figures program, like LinkedIn is like the label, but it's mindset, it's business, it's
Yes.
psychology, it's like all these things that need to be done in order for you to make LinkedIn work. Because you need to overcome some limiting belief. It's what I call like DM anxiety. Like, oh shit, what am I
Yes.
going to send? And like, what will people think of me? The fear of following up. What should I write about? Do people still listen to me? Like all these like limiting beliefs. I think it's 80% mindset and like mental game, and just 20% strategies and just following my instruction. Like, hey, post about this, send these type of messages, and this is how you do follow-ups, right? And so it becomes more of like almost like business and life coaching wrapped up in a container of LinkedIn. It's
That's
just the
true.
vehicle.
That's true. I didn't see it that way, but you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. So in terms of like future projects for yourself, like what are things that you are very excited about to test or build over the next 3 to 6 months, or perhaps like 12 to 24 months?
Yeah. So what's obviously extremely changing the way I work and improving my product dramatically is AI. What I'm doing now is that because I create so much information together with my clients about only them and their own personality, AI starts acting as an assistant for me,
Yeah,
where I'm putting hours and hours of conversations and pages of answers in those workbooks into the AI. And it helps me with psychological and therapy advice, because this is not my background, right? I have a business background. So AI becomes my personal psychologist for my clients, basically. But AI can be an incredible tool if you give it the right inputs.
100%.
And since after my process, I probably have, like, I don't know, 50, 60 full pages written of text and conversations. Um, I can use all of that to give incredible on point psychological and therapy advice for my clients. So this is kind of the game changer that puts my method onto the next level, really, where I truly believe I can deliver much more value without spending more time with my clients personally, and that's incredible. What obviously I want to do next eventually is, if I have enough demand, is I want to create group coachings as well, maybe for a
Nice.
lower price point. And eventually what I really want to do, this is a big goal of mine, is something like a month-long retreat. Essentially, I want to bring people together, a specific group, into one amazing house, in the best case somewhere on the beach, and change their lives within 1 month, and do a full reset where we change everything: their nutrition, their behavior, like their sportive behavior, mindset work. We fully change, like, turn their career around and start their businesses, and literally, like, create a container with all the right surroundings, in terms of, like, like ice baths, saunas, personal trainers, nutritionists, cooks, mindset coaches, and literally, like, take them for 1 month, take them out of their normal lives, and do a full reset, so that then they have everything it takes to go full on onto the next level. And this is has been a dream of mine for a while. I've been doing week-long retreats for a few
Nice.
years, but this is kind of the next level that I definitely want to do.
Well, I'm rooting for you, man. That sounds as an amazing dot on the horizon, and I'm sure you will
Yeah.
sooner or later hit that. And it all comes down to like human connection, right? Like we live in a very like digital space. Like everything kind of happens virtual in terms of like business. Uh, but then at least having these monthly or weekly containers, as you said, just to bring people out of their day to day into a very sacred space, to just create even more change, right? Yeah,
Absolutely. And I
that's
mean, it works with your program too, right? Like similar people have similar problems. So if I learned a lot already from the people that are in my cohort now with you in my group, because obviously they're asking questions that are very relevant for me too. And so you don't have to answer it individually to everyone again and again and again. But these people, yeah, it just makes sense to group people together that have working on the same thing, have the same mindset, are going through the same process because everybody can just learn from each other a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, again, these containers are so important. And the funny thing is actually that, especially within like the authority figures program, we've got so many different industries and niches. Like if you compare to what you're doing versus what Atanas is doing, like he's doing like packaging for mycelium, like mushroom packaging, completely different opposites. But what we do both works. Like you know exactly what content to push in his style, in your style, and it's just like the question he asks, like the insights might be different, but you know exactly, okay, if I give feedback on X, Y, and Z, you know how to extrapolate that to your own situation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, that's amazing, man. I love that. So I want to wrap up things in a sec. Is there anything else you want to share, like a fun final note or an idea that you got so far from the conversations we had?
Um, Yeah, I think at the end of the day, for people who are watching, it's really about finding your own voice. If you wanna market something or if you wanna bring something out into the world, and I think your own voice can come in a lot of different kind of forms and colors, right? Me, for example, personally, I could have probably also just like been in the Instagram game and like post about my lifestyle and try to inspire people through my lifestyle and then get my program out like that. But I don't like it.
Yeah,
I just don't like the platform. LinkedIn, on the other hand, for me personally, I can talk about a concept, about an idea, about a general lifestyle, and I don't have to take it too much to my person, to my own person, and own person doesn't matter that much.
yeah,
But I can talk about, a specific idea that resonates with a lot of people without me having to share what I eat for lunch or what my workout schedule looks like,
yeah,
right? So for me, this is a great way that I feel very comfortable with and very happy sharing. And I actually like writing on Instagram, and it's fun, and I'm really enjoying the process. Whereas on Instagram, I always hated it and I never liked it, right? So I think at the end of the day, yeah, I think it's highly individual, and it really also depends. But yes, I'm very, very sure that LinkedIn can work for a lot of people, for a lot of industries, for a lot of products. But at the end of the day, and again, this is my concept that I teach everyone: is follow the fireflies. Do what feels good to you. That don't listen to what the other people are doing. Do what feels comfortable for you. Obviously, get out of your comfort zone as well, but do what excites you and what you're having
back
fun
you,
with,
back you
because
up.
you don't want to spend 8 hours a day doing something that isn't fun for you. Simple as that.
Amen to that. Amen to that, my friend. So, for the people watching, if they're interested in connecting with you or learning more about what you do, where should I go and what should they like? What can they expect?
Yeah, definitely check out my LinkedIn page. Check out the Rebellion method. Check out my website to understand what it all is about. And yeah, if you reckon that you need help with, book a call with me. I'll be happy to show you the process and see if I can help you.
Amazing, man. I will make sure to add all your links in the description and such. Which people specifically should reach out to you, or is that not important?
Not that important, but again, like I think especially people who feel lost and stuck and have explored a couple of methods, but just want the shortcut and want to get into career and lifestyle clarity in the next 3-4 weeks. Those are the people that I can help best. Yeah, for sure.
Amazing, changing lives one by one.
One by one.
Awesome. Well, guys, you heard it all. If you need any help, I will make sure to drop Julius's link in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for
Bye
your
bye.
time, Jesse. Appreciate it.